Let's take a look at Algorand. Algo, this has been a chart request from one of my amazing subscribers, or one of more of you actually. Over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube right now. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. Nearly 3,000 followers on X. We're going to take a look at Algo today. This is my first proper look. I've known about Algo for a long time. I've been in crypto since 2013, and Algo came out a number of years ago now. I've known about it. I've checked the chart every now and then, but I've never done even a rough sort of overview or even a mini deep dive on it. Okay, so what I will be doing today is mainly focusing on the price and talking about if I were getting into Algo, what my take profit targets would be. Now that's for me, yours may be different. Let me give a quick disclaimer, none of this is financial advice. Also, if you're an Algo fanboy, if you've been a long-term holder, there's maybe things I talk about today that I'm not mentioning, or there's maybe things I don't mention. So just be polite and say, hey, analysis was okay. I think you're missing a couple of things, a couple of factors that could push the price to here, there, or anywhere, right? And these prices are what I would do to take profits, because you must always take profits along the way. You may have higher targets for you, and that's okay. But post a comment below if there's anything you think I can add to the algo fundamental analysis. Okay, let's take a look very quickly, and I'm just going to do a grok summary. Okay, I'm not doing an absolute deep dive, mainly focusing on the technicals. But right here, let's do it, people. Let's take a quick look. Now, is grok going to be perfect? No. But I tell you what, out of all the AI stuff at the moment, grok is really kicking everyone's butt, even kicking ChatGPT's butt at the moment. Give a summary of Algo, I said. Let's see what it says. Algorand. Algo is a blockchain platform designed for the efficient, secure, and scalable execution of decentralized applications, dApps, financial instruments, and other blockchain-based solutions. Here's a summary of its key aspects. Okay, I'm not going to delve too much into this. We're mainly going to talk about price, but a consensus mechanism algorithm uses a unique consensus algorithm called proof of stake. We've heard about pure proof of stake. This system allows for fast, energy-efficient transactions with high security, as it selects validators randomly based on the number of algo tokens they hold and are willing to stake. Interesting model. Scalability. One of Algo's main selling points is its ability to scale effectively. That's incredibly important, okay? Bitcoin comes out, it's the first one. It has all these great things about it, limited supply, blah, 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 but it's slow as shit. And it's also harder to scale, okay? So that's why necessity is the mother of all invention. That's why many different tokens are coming out saying we're better than Bitcoin for this, that, and the other. Scalability is one of those. One of Algorand's algorithms is ability to scale effectively. It aims to handle thousands of transactions per second, TPS, 1,000 transactions per second, with very low latency. This is like other recent cryptos that we've had a look at, similar kind of thing, or the aim is to making it suitable for widespread adoption in financial applications. Yes, security. The pure proof of stake mechanism also enhances security by making it economically unfeasible to attack the network. That's a smart move, since validators are chosen randomly and unpredictably. I really like that. So it's I'm all about systems. Okay, I value systems over goals. Now, part of having a good system is making sure that your incentives, your human behavioral incentives, are aligned. You know, murder is. I'm getting into murder. Murder is. You don't see a lot of. You do see a lot of murder, but the punishment for murder is like jail time. Blah blah. There's a incentive to not do it. Okay. Apart from the moral aspect, there's a physical incentive to not do it. We'll lock you up. We'll put you on the death penalty. Blah blah. When you align the incentives correctly, good things can happen. Okay. So they're trying to align the incentives to make it economically unfeasible to attack the network. So if it's economically unfeasible, why would you attack the network? Okay, so that's a really smart move. Decentralization. Algorand aims to maintain a high degree of decentralization by ensuring that anyone can participate in the network by just holding algo. Great. This contrasts with other systems where control might be concentrated, yes, among a few large stakeholders. So they bring it to the masses. Smart contracts and dApps, not interested. Tokenomics, I am interested in. Algo serves both as the native currency of the Algorand network for paying transaction fees as the governance token. Holders of ALGO can participate. You can vote in governance decisions, including how the protocol evolves. If you're not familiar with a governance token or using governance, you literally use some of your ALGO. You pay to vote as such, right? You put in a bit of your tokens and then you can vote on changes and updates and all that kind of stuff, including how the protocol evolves and how the network rewards are distributed. Okay, use cases, we need to talk about this. Beyond cryptocurrency transactions, Algorand is used for tokenization of assets. Once again, we're talking about this RWA space, the real world asset space. So it's used for tokenization of assets. That is going to be a massive thing in years to come. Okay, decentralized finance, DeFi apps. Okay, cross-border payments, quick, easy, secure, cheap, and compliance with regulatory requirements due to its built-in features. Due to its built-in features. I'd like to know more about this, like KYC, which is Know Your Customer, and AML, anti-money laundering. Because I've worked in the precious metals industry for 11 years, I know a lot about Know Your Customer procedures, about the anti-money laundering, AML stuff, all the reporting requirements and all that. So it's in that space as well. This is very interesting to me, okay? And apparently due to its built-in features, like Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering, I would like to learn more about that. I'll do that in my own time. Adoption. Since its inception, Algorand has seen adoption by various institutions, good and developers, blah, blah, blah. Notable partnerships include the Central Bank of the Marshall Islands, okay, for their digital currency collaborations, blah, blah, blah. Market performance, yeah, it's been volatile. It's a crypto. Yep, future developments. Algorand continues to evolve with upgrades, blah, 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 blah. Good. I also ask every time now, what would fanboys of Algo add to this summary? There's fangirls too, okay. Fanboys might emphasize the following points to enhance the above summary. Instant finality. Okay, what's this? They would stress that Algo achieves transaction finality in mere seconds. Okay, so from hitting the thing to full completion. If you're in crypto, you got to wait for confirmation, and sometimes a Bitcoin confirmation can take a long time, and Ethereum confirmation can take a bunch of time as well. But 2.8 seconds block time, that's pretty damn fast, which contrasts with other blockchains that might take longer to confirm transactions. Yeah, this feature is seen as critical for real-world applications, of course, where speed matters, absolutely. High throughput, they would highlight Algo's capability for handling over 10,000 transactions per second as observed on the mainnet. Yep, showing its readiness for mass adoption and high volume use cases. Man, I really agree. Low fees, good, extremely low transaction fees. Yep, often fractions of a cent. Point of pride, that would be very good. Positioning Algo as an economical choice for developers. Yeah. Native asset creation. Okay, fanboys would point out the ease with which native assets can be created. Don't know what that means. Atomic swaps. Yes, built into the layer 1 protocol, atomic transactions allow for complex multi-party transactions to happen simultaneously, which is touted as significant advantage, blah, blah, blah. I understand atomic swaps, so if it makes it really fast, that's good. Community and transparency. They talk about the active growing community. Yeah, it's a big community, the Algo community, so I do agree with that. Real-world use cases. Fanboys might emphasize specific high-profile use cases or partnerships like with FIFA for NFTs, or real-world applications in finance, art, and beyond, demonstrating tangible adoption. It seems like they're really into the real-world tokenization of real assets, real asset tokenization, blah, blah, blah. Very good, okay. And it's been around since 2019, so it's one of the big players. Ecological impact, okay. It's energy efficient, okay, cool. Developer experience, talking about, okay, the devs are really good, okay. Security without compromise, citing, yes, okay. Citing the impossibility of attacks because of the economic infeasibility. Token distribution. Fanboys might bring up the distribution of Algo, where a significant portion is allocated to the ecosystem innovation, fostering growth and development. Great, great. That is your big overview of Algo. On my first proper deep dive, I have no reason to lie to you. By the way, I don't own any Algo. I've looked at it before. I maybe have owned it and maybe traded it once or twice before. I don't remember. I don't own it right now, so let me be just, you can't read my mind, but I will tell you I'm not in it, but it looks really interesting, particularly when it's said about the built-in know your customer and AML stuff. That really picks up my ears, okay? I might look into Algo. I'm spread thin enough with the amount of cryptos that I have. I'm trying to actually consolidate. I'd like to get down to 3 to 5 tops. That's ultimate. I've got more than that at the moment. If you look at my list here, this is a list of stuff I'm either looking at or I'm in. A lot of that is sort of stuff from previous cycles that I just haven't shifted. I might have to look at that. Algo, I tell you what, I would really look at it, but let's look at it now from a price perspective. And I'm going to give you my take profit targets as if I was already in it. And I might even do it basis on possibly even getting into it, okay? What I'm going to do here is very simple technical analysis. I don't use all the kind of crazy Ichimoku clouds and all this stuff. I use simple supports, lines of support and resistance. I use some trend lines, and I always do use Fibonacci. That's one of my big ones. And I just look at the relative strength index to see the general trend it's going. And we talk about getting into extremely overvalued and all that kind of stuff. I usually start with Fibonacci because I find that to be the most useful. Okay, so I'm going to take, this is the Binance price. This is the the longest price, the longest chart that goes back the longest. So 2019 of June. Okay, so we're going to take it from the high. So you've got $3.40 and you've got the low of 8 cents. That's a big difference, people, but that's what happens in crypto. Let's go from this high and this low. Now, there might be a better historical chart, but I'm going to use the Binance one because it's probably the one that most people would be looking at. Now, what I'm looking for in here, just so you know, and I'll give you a quick little lesson on Fibonacci. Now, my thoughts on Fibonacci, the best? No. Is there someone who does it better? Yeah, probably. But this is just what I see. What I'm looking for is I'm taking a previous old high and the bottom, which looks like to be the bottom. And then we're going to ask, is there any levels of confluence? Do the support and resist, do the candles here, do the closes, particularly the wicks, do they match up with any of the interim levels on the Fibonacci? Okay, so I do this. You can already see it, but let's take this high and it's going to be this low here. Okay, now let's move it across. Do I see any levels of confluence? Do I see any levels? Do the Flügelbrücken? Yeah, I think I do. All right, so I'm going to take it from there. I'm going to just adjust it for a second and see whether I should be taking it from this high and this high. Right, this low, sorry. Is that more likely? And can we call that a little dip under? Or do I take it from there? It's much of a muchness. So I am going to take it from this low right here. Cool. Do we see any decent levels of confluence with, and now it's hindcasting, okay, it is hindcasting, but do we see any decent levels that match up? Yeah, I can see a few, okay, and maybe we'll go into the weekly to see if there's any extra ones that you can see on closes of weekly timeframes. Okay, so very easily you can see that this does line up somewhat, okay. So the high here, $3.44, that low down there of 8 cents. Now, as I say to you, look back here. You go like this, and actually you can't do that because you don't have that, that level isn't in until there. So don't worry about that. But yes, we do have a level of confluence here. That's at the 0.5 mark. That's at $1.75, call it roughly. Major area of resistance, failure to hold. Okay, so that's definitely an area of resistance, and it does line up as well. Where does an area of support line up? It does line up here, but that's also previous resistance. So can you call it that? Yeah, it is a little bit of hindcasting, okay, but you can call that a level of support. It does match with that level of resistance there. You can see cluster, okay, it's not perfect, but you can see a cluster around about here at the 0.236. It's kind of skirting around it, okay. Movement up, yeah, what you can see is a level of support, but again, I will say that just matches with previous level of resistance. So could you call the Fibonacci the one, or are we just looking at simple lines of support and resistance? 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but you can definitely see here spike, but we closed all that time. So between September of 2021 and about November of 2021, so a 3-month period, you had spikes down, but it closed every single week at that previous level of resistance. And it's actually technically not at that previous level of resistance. Look at that spike. That's a spike. Where did it close at? Actually, more so at the 0.5 level at about $1.75. So I would call that pretty confluent. You can also see here, as my voice cracks, you can see right here, level of resistance. Then it became, okay? Then it became... Who am I, Yoda? And then down here, it became a level of support. So the 0.382, yeah, at $1.36, that's a level of support. Now, does that match up? Yeah, it matches up with a bit of resistance there. Yeah, I would call that relatively confluent. And you can see down here, I'm just quickly do the historical stuff because I want to see whether it's definitely is or not, relatively confluent. And I would call it yes. Yeah-ish. You can see we had a break above. We found support right there. Yeah. And then we had that move all the way down to 8 cents. And at the moment, Algo has had a massive move. So let's talk about this massive move in the last few weeks. This is just like H-bar. H-bar had that massive move. And is it an exact kind of percentage gain? Let's have a look. So from the low of 10 cents in the last number of months, no, not as high. H-bar had about an 800% move, but in the last month and a bit, we've had a 460% move in Algo. Congratulations if you caught the bottom to all the fanboys. Very good if you've been in Algo in the last month, 2 months roughly. You've done very, very well. Now, I'm going to do it as if I was getting into this for the first time. If I was considering getting into Algo, where would I be looking at to get in, and then what are my take profit targets along the way? I won't be talking probably about market cap and, market cap versus this versus that and all that, because we don't know where crypto is going to go. I do know Algo is about number 47 currently on the crypto market cap thing on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. So it's not even in the top 20 at the moment. So it's got a lot of room to move to even get into the top 20. Okay, but again, the market cap of everything would be rising, like the rising tide is going up. So I'll just be talking about price. And the thing is, most people will be looking at dollar-denominated prices. The smart people, and I should do it too, we should mainly be looking at market cap for our tops and our bottom signals, okay? And measuring market cap versus other things, okay? But a lot of us, and the crypto cycle goes through a massive cycle when all the normies get in. Okay, you and I, we're the earlier adopters. I've never been an absolute innovator, but I've usually been an earlier adopter of, again, Bitcoin in 2013, for example, is when I first bought. But what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say most people in a crypto mania phase where everything's going hog wild, it's because your normies are getting into it, and your normies won't be looking at market cap, okay? They'll be looking at the pure number fiat dollar price go up. That's why we use mainly that, okay? Let's have a look. I would be getting interested, and it's very easy to see here. I'll talk about getting interested from a change of market structure, okay? So actually, technically, my getting interested line in Algo would have been right here. That would signal to me roughly a change of market structure. For me, it's around about there at that 27, 28 cent. Do you want to call it 30 cents even? You can, but we'll call it around about there. That's about 28 cents where I would have been getting interested in Algo. So, because it's over that mark now, I'm interested in Algo. I'm actually genuinely interested in it. I'm just spread too thin. If I get someone gives me an extra bit of cash, or I sell something or whatever, I would actually consider getting into Algo. So that's my getting interested. And I'll also call it my line in the sand. Getting interested, line in sand, mark, okay? That signifies to me a change of market structure where bear market, bear market, bear market. Oh yeah, okay, looking interesting. It spiked, but it didn't close above. Yeah, it didn't close above previous resistance. Oh well, back down we go. Oh, hello. Okay, and now we're back above. So we're back above the getting interested line. That is really good, okay? It's also the line in the sand. If you start seeing Algo not spiking, but closing days, closing weeks below this line, then I'd start to go, maybe not so much. The absolute low, because I will have to give you a heads up on the daily time frame. I don't know what the hell that is. Go away. Yeah, I don't care about that. Go away. No, I don't. Whatever. It's cock blocking me. There we go, right there. On the daily time frame, we've already gone to extremely overvalued on the. So this is the weekly. On the weekly time frame, we're already in extremely overvalued for algo. Okay, I did talk about HBAR last week, where I said, is it front running the crypto thing? It's had a massive move. It's gone extremely overvalued. Same with algo. Okay, so a move back down to the getting interested line, the line in the sand of around about 28 cents, wouldn't surprise me. I don't want to see it really close much below there. Okay, what would I say a spike to? Oh, this is interesting. Okay. You know what? Some people might disagree with me, and they might say the getting interested line would be here, because they would say there would be an argument to be made that the change of market structure occurred here at 16 cents. So I'm going to allow you anywhere down to there. So you know what? I'm going to change it. My apologies. Now that I see it, it's been seen. My getting interested line was at 16 cents. Okay? I'm going to allow that. I'll allow it, says the judge. Sustained, says the judge. Yeah, that's more like that's your change of market structure there. Okay, that is a decent amount of resistance, but we're over that. So I'll put that there I'll put it back as an area of resistance or support to watch out for. But if we do crack below 28, that's okay, because we've gone into extremely overvalued on the weekly. We could keep ticking down for a little bit. That's your line in the sand at 16 cents. So my apologies for that. I've always got to adjust it to what I see later on. So 16 cents is my getting interested, and it's also my line in the sand. If you crack down back below and start closing days, weeks, particularly months, below 16 cents, that's not good for algo. You could probably see even lower prices coming. I don't think that's going to be it. Okay, so here's your first level of support that you'd want to see if you want to see algo just onwards and upwards. Okay, you want to see the first support level at 28 and then crack above. If it does break there, don't stress. You just want to see fine support here and very quickly go back above there and then do that. That's the perfect scenario. This might be the perfect dip area for algo. Okay, you get down to there, many people would be loading up around about there. Okay, but preferably hold that 28. So now, what would be my getting excited line? Let's say, for example, I buy in right now, or let's say I wait for a dip down to 28 cents. Okay, let's say that's for me and I buy a certain amount. Let's call it $5,000 worth. I haven't done it, but let's say I do. I will start getting excited for algo when we start closing above right here. That's the 87 cent move. 87 US cents is my getting excited. So that tells me, oh man, you start closing above 87 cents, it's really go time. Okay, major area of resistance. It also happens to line up with the 0.236, which is the first Fibonacci level after the 0. Okay, so that's the first one. You really need to get over there to really be excited for a particular crypto or any asset. Okay, when you do a high and a low, once it gets over the 23.6, then you can start to get excited. And I will be at 87 US cents. That sets it up for a larger move. And of course, I always put in my final hurdle for new all-time highs. Okay, so my final hurdle for new all-time highs, is that going to be at the 0.786 or the 0.618 this time? I have to stick with it, and I'm going to say at my 0.786. I might be being really conservative here. Geez, that's a big move. No, I'm going to change it. It's right here, okay? Because this is such a large price difference, I am going to go against my usual rule, and I'm going to put my final hurdle for new all-time highs coming soon at $2.15 US cents. $2.15 is final hurdle, new all-time highs. So what does that mean? Final hurdle for new all-time highs. Okay, we are not out of the woods yet for algo. Can I say 100% that algo is going to make a new all-time high in this current crypto run? No, I can't. Why? Because it's not over my final hurdle. Okay. If we start closing, we're on the weekly time frame. If we start closing weeks, particularly closing months, yeah, have a look at this. Okay, you know why? That's definitely it. Why? Because we failed. We did it once, and it was a fake out. So we closed above the final hurdle of $2.15, but it was a failed move. Oftentimes, from a failed move is a fast move in the opposite direction. I would say if any time you ever close another week above $2.15 US cents for algo, that's probably basically confirmation that, yeah, we're going to break the all-time high, and then onwards and upwards we go. At least break the all-time high, okay? And I will stick with that $2.15. But I can't say algo is going to make new all-time highs until we do that. And here's the thing. It's got a lot of ways to go. So, for example, those are those ones. We'll talk about higher prices if we do. Yeah, let's talk about higher prices for a second. If we do break the all-time high, if we do break $2.15, I would be much more confident that the new all-time high, a new all-time high would come. And what are we talking about? I would say the maximum area. You know, you'd be wanting to be taking profits along the way, and I'll give you my take profit targets in just a second. You'd be really looking at being probably almost all out of your algo at somewhere between, see, the 1.618 would be a target, but I'll be a little bit more not conservative, and I'll say somewhere between $8.90 and $14 right there. Now, you wonderful algo fanboys might be going, that's mental. It's going to go way higher than that because of its adoption with this or the new payment system or the whatever, okay? I would call this, and I'm not saying it's 100% going here, okay? So for all you other people going, that's a market cap of way, way higher. It can never go there. Yeah, you could be right. But this is the major profit-taking area, okay? This is the sort of blue sky thinking, okay? $8.90. Right, this is a huge move, okay? We're at 40 cents right now. So please, I am not saying it's definitely going here, okay? Understand. I am not saying. I'm going to say this is kind of the max area. It's a huge move, okay? So please understand, I am not saying it's going here. I would go, I'm going to say max move. Max move likely. Cool? And I'm not even going to say major profit-taking area. I'm just going to say max area likely, right? Max move is probably to there. That would be signaling, wow, okay, we're really overextended, okay? So that's that area. So let's do take profits along the way. If, for example, let's say I bought $5,000 worth of algo at around about here. Let's call it that getting interest, that level there. Not the getting interested line. I'll leave that for you guys. Let's say 28 cents, okay? Let's say I wait and I decide to buy around about here. Okay, let's do some take profit targets. So from around about here to the getting interested line, come on, man, that's a 200% move. Okay, let's do it from, no, let's not hindcut. Let's not predict and say it's definitely going to get down to here. Let's say I buy today. Let's do that instead. I'm going to buy today. I'm not, but let's say I do. Between here and the getting interested line is a 110% move. That just takes it to 87 cents. That just takes it to there. Very reasonable to do in a crypto bull run. What, 100% from here? Nothing. That's nothing. What do we say, though, at 100%? Sell half on double and recoup your initial investment. Then you're just free riding the rest. And I would even say it would be quite a good risk to reward. Let's say, for example, you go, I can reasonably risk, I could risk $10,000, but, you know, just to play it safe, I'll only do $5,000. This is just me. I'm just talking about me, right? I would almost be happy to risk $10,000. Why? Because in a crypto bull market, to do 110% from here, that is so easy. You could hit that in the next, in January, you could hit that in mid-January. Easy, okay? So I would be almost convinced of doing $10,000. Why? Because then I would sell half of it on double. I recoup $10,000, and then I've got another $10,000 up. Okay, so I risk 10,000, I take out 10,000 here, for example, and then I've still got another 10 grand to ride. Absolutely amazing, okay? I would be very confident. I would be very surprised, and something would be very wrong with the market if we can't pump at least another 110% from here. Come on, man. So sell half on double, and then just free ride the rest. Now, if for some reason you find a lot of resistance here at 87 cents, let's say something happens in the crypto market or a big black swan event that, you know, for some reason here, okay, well, you're already free riding. Okay, so then you just take some profit as it's going down. Okay, watch for news, what's going on in the market. But let's say you take some initial there. So I'm going to say that would be my personal TP1. This might be different for you. You're like 87 cents. What is this? A profit taking for ants? Okay, that would be initial, let's see, recoup, initial. That would be for me, okay? I'm only talking about me. Initial, cool? That's around about there at 87 cents, okay? That's really liney, let me get rid of that. Cool. Now, let's say I recoup initial and then we head up further. My next major profit-taking area is at, yes, the final hurdle of $2.15 US cents. Why? Because nothing is guaranteed in this life and you want to take profits along the way. So for me, and look, getting in here, if I were selling half on double here, recouping my initial investment, free riding the rest for another 300%, yes, please. So I would be taking profit too. Here at $2.15. That's just me. You do you, right? Now I wait to see what happens from here. I go, yeah, look, that's that final hurdle for new all-time highs. What does it do from here? So let's say I take another X percentage. Now let's say I sell out of another half, okay? Then I'm riding another 50%, okay? So I'm riding $5,000 worth of algo, okay? Then I watch what happens here, okay? Do we potentially, you've got to watch what's happening in the news. Where are we within the crypto cycle? All that. Is this the dead cat bounce and then we're back down from there? Now, probably not. Okay, we're probably going higher from here, but I can't tell you for sure. What you would want to see is something like this. Then you crack back above there, you bounce off there, and then bang, new all-time high probably coming. And hey, you've taken profits here. Well, I've taken profits here. I've taken profits here. I'm free riding. I'm in profit now. I've broken even here. I've taken my first lot of profits here. Brilliant. And then I'm free riding the rest, baby. And then I see where it goes. My next take profit would be here at the 1.618. That's at $5.50. Okay. TP3 for me. TP3. $5.50. Why? Because it's the 1.618 Fibonacci level from a very significant old high and a very significant old low. Okay. So recouped initial investment. Taken some profits here, taken some profits here. I would probably have about 20 to 30% left in the bag at that stage. And then who gives a flying where it goes from there? Because you've taken profits, you're just free riding the rest. And then imagine if it goes to goddamn $8.90 to $14.30 or even potentially higher. The rest is just gravy. Okay, but I would say around about here, if in the next crypto run, this crypto bull run, if for some reason in algo, I'm not saying it's getting here, but if you get to somewhere in here, that's where I would probably consider only leaving about 10% left in the bag. I'd take my final major move, likely profits here between $9 and $14, and then I'd leave 10% in the bag probably, and then see what happens. If it tanks from here, all right, cool. So what? I'm out 90%, and I've made a lot of money, okay? And what are you here for? You are here to help yourself or help your family, help your children, help your whatever. Is it generational wealth? Are you older and you're doing this for your grandkids? Are you young and you're in your 20s and you're looking to secure your financial future? You should be taking profits along the way. Do not be married to your algo bags. Even the fanboys take profits along the way, people. Those, for me, are the areas that I would. Now, here's the thing. I'm talking about me getting here at algo at today's price. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are an algo fanboy, and let's say your average buy-in price for algo is somewhere, anywhere below where we are right now. Let's say, for example, is your average buy-in price 15, 16 US cents? If it is, congratulations to you. Are you telling me you're not going to take profits at the getting interested line? Are you not going to take any kind of profits after a 400% increase? You've actually increased here. You're 150% up if you bought it at your average cost at around about 15 cents, okay? Are you telling me you're not going to take some profits here? You're not going to take at least your initial investment out? Don't be dumb. Get your profits in, recoup your initial investment, and then, hey, you can use that to buy something else if you want. I suggest you just hold on to it because you want to increase your wealth over time. Take profits along the way, people. And those are my personal take profit targets. You can not do that, but I would suggest if you want to be reasonable, okay, those are the take profit targets you would look at along the way. 87 cents, $2.15, $5.50, and then, you're really getting toppy at around about, and it might not even get there, $9 to $14, okay? Those are my personal take profit targets for Algo if I were to get into it. I can tell you right now, I'm considering getting into Algo now that I've done a little mini deep dive on what it is, particularly about that built-in know your customer and AML stuff that really interests me. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Algo. We'll do some final comments and then we shall get out of here. Let's talk about what you think about Algo, etc.